There aren't really very many ways that a car manufacturer can make a car stand out from the masses these days. You could put a load of toys and some quirky bit of equipment on, but then that tends to get quite expensive. Or you could do what Citroen has done with the C4 Cactus. You could strip loads of unnecessary stuff out, put some funky little air bumps on the side, and make it a whole load cheaper. Some Citroens of recent times, think of the DS4 and the DS5 in particular, have lost one thing that the brand was really famed for in the past, and that is a comfy ride. Now, while the Cactus is not quite perfect, it is a lot better. It is very comfy most of the time. It is very good, for example, when you come to motorways and slightly faster roads. It soaks up bigger bumps really well. It's not quite so good when you come to the smaller, sharp little potholes, etc. that you get around town, but it still soaks up most imperfections. The steering is reassuring at higher speeds as well. It's nice and light around town, which means that it's very easy to park this car, but it weights up when you come to faster speeds, so it never feels like it's twitching offline. Now, of all the engines, the absolute pick is the 1.2 litre petrol version, the higher powered version. That's the one we've got in this car. That is the best all-rounder. It's not too expensive, it's quite efficient, and it's got a good amount of pull from all different types of revs. The diesel, while it is a very efficient engine, is very noisy, and noise insulation is one thing that they've taken out a lot of in this car, so you really do feel a lot of grumbling and noise coming into the cabin. It's also quite expensive, so it's not the pick of the range. When you first jump into the Cactus, then these front seats might well be one of the first things that you get quite excited about. They're quite soft, squidgy and comfy. They're a bit like a pair of armchairs. But the problem is, armchairs are great for sitting in front of the telly in. They're not so great for sitting in and staying supported and comfortable for hours on end behind a wheel. There's no adjustment in and out for this wheel, and it goes up and down, and there's no lumbar support adjustment on these seats. So if you've got bad posture like me, then you might struggle to get comfortable. Elsewhere though, there is a good amount of room in this cabin. There is lots of space for you as a person, although there's not quite so much in the way of cubby holes. There are a few things down here, glove box there, and this bit here is about all you've got. There is, however, a good amount of fit and finish as far as these materials are concerned. Little clever touches here, and you do get this 7-inch touchscreen as standard. It looks brilliant, but it's a little bit annoying in some ways. You have to, for example, control the air conditioning through it. So you have to change menus in order just to change the temperature. It is also a little bit slow to respond sometimes. It's not instantaneous, but quite impressive on a car that's this cheap. And because the Cactus is quite a tall little car, you get a very good amount of headroom, both up front and back here. Although, if you go for this optional panoramic glass sunroof, then you do lose a little bit of that. So if you're going to be carrying taller passengers back here on a regular basis, it might be worth considering whether that is the best thing to go for. It does look fantastic though. Now, you also get a decent amount of legroom back here, it's a good amount of space there, and it's a very flat back bench seat, so you should be able to get 3 adults across here easier than you would do in similarly sized cars. Now in the boot, once again you get a decent amount of space, but because of the cost-cutting nature of this car, there isn't really much in the way of clever little tricks here. It's just one great big open square space with quite a big lip. There's no adjustable boot floor to level off that lip, and you also have to suffer something which is thankfully quite rare these days. You can fold the seats, but they don't split. You've got to drop them all as one. So you've got to reach both sides at once in order to release them. There are 3 trim levels on the Cactus: touch, feel and flare. All 3 of them are fairly well equipped. You get things like that touch screen, you get DAB digital radio, a USB connection, cruise control and front electric windows. No matter which version you go for though, you can't get electric rear windows. You have to make do with these pop-out versions. The pick of the range, however, is the mid-level feel trim. That's because you get things like air conditioning and Bluetooth as standard. You also get a couple of things that add to the look of the Cactus, things like body-coloured door handles. For all the things the Cactus has going for it though, value for money is right up the top. For that reason, steer clear of the top-level trims. That's where it starts to get a little bit pricey. Otherwise, this car is comparatively cheap to buy. The efficient engines will keep running costs down, and because it's a desirable little thing, it is likely to hold on well to its value. The Cactus does get plenty of safety kit thrown in, but it did miss out on the top level Euro NCAP safety score. It got 4 stars out of 5. One final thing, these air bumps, They're not just there to look cool, they also bit of give in them. So if you get knocked into in a car park, they should save you from a few repair bills. They're there to protect the car as well as look good. The Cactus does have a few compromises. A car that's looking to cut costs in many different areas is bound to, but as long as you stick with the more affordable petrols and you aren't too bothered by huge amounts of modern luxuries, then this is a great little car. For more information, search for Citroen C4 Cactus on whatcar.com, where we have loads more news and information.